We have something also at another higher level in Nigeria. That's the insurance sector, which is set for a new horizon. As President Bola Ahmed Tinubu signs the new sector reform bill into law on Tuesday. Now, the new legislation is a product of hard work on the part of the sector regulator, the National Insurance Commission, the insurance companies and industry professionals. Joining me live now from our Abuja studios to discuss the new Insurance Act is the NICOM's Deputy Commissioner in charge of Insurance, Finance and Administration, Ekerete Ola Gam-Ikon. It's great having you on the Arise Exchange tonight, sir, to discuss this very important development. And we say congratulations to NICOM Commissioner, Mr. Olusegun Omosei, and his team, of course, which includes your very good self. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you very much, Bosun, for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm also happy to know about this bill because, of course, I'm a market person, journalist, so I'm interested when I see something new to bite into on the table. Give me some background, as it were, to this bill when you presented it as NICOM to the National Assembly, putting it all together, eventually to Mr. President's table.
Okay, so let me start by thanking the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for signing off on this. And importantly, also thank the National Assembly leadership, particularly the chairman of the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance, and Other Financial institutions. That's distinguished Senator Tokunbo Abiru, and of course his partner in the House of Reps, Honorable Jaha Ahmed. I mean, this was a private member bill, as you would know, and so a lot of work was done at that level to then get the president's assent. Yes, of course, we work with them in partnership, and of course the markets, the operators were all involved in this process. And that's why we seem to be having celebration all across the industry on this particular feat that has been achieved. In terms of where we go from here, as you said, there are lots of things to chew out of this. I will say that for every page of that document are new opportunities. It's a modern legislation, as we have said. It's innovative. It's driving change across several areas. As you know, we are coming from 2003 to 2025. And we see this as a transformational journey. And that's why at NICOM, we indeed say it's a game changer. Because everybody's interest seems to have been taken in. In particular, I would like to speak to the issue of policyholders' protection, which is a defining moment for everyone. You see policyholders struggling in Nigeria, and then the story has always been that insurance in Nigeria doesn't pay, insurance in Nigeria doesn't work, the regulator is weak, and all of that. I think all of that has become historical simply by the signing off by the president on this. And we today sit well positioned to contribute to the development of the $1 trillion economy that the president envisions. And that's where we are.
So I'm just trying to piggyback a little bit when you look at the industry and you have a new act in place. Give me some important reviews of the existing insurance sector law that you wanted to change and why this private bill went to the National Assembly. What are the key issues that need to change within Nigeria's insurance sector, by the way?
So fundamentally, for us to then be able to have some impactful contribution from the industry, there is the issue of capital. A lot of talk has been around the financial strength of insurance companies. So this bill comes with a clear announcement, where the minimum capital requirement for insurance companies, has moved from what we knew it to be, $2 billion for life business, $3 billion for general business, and then $10 billion for reinsurance business, to $10 billion, $15 billion, and $35 billion respectively. That's what was passed by the National Assembly, and that's what we expect coming out, in the document. So in terms of the expansion of the revenue base, income base, we've got a lot more happening, especially in the area where you have to deal with individual policyholders. As you may know, a lot of business in the Nigerian insurance sector has been corporate businesses, where you have as much as 80% of income being derived from corporate businesses. But today, we have a law that is positioned to drive, personal line businesses, call it retail, and that has to happen driven by digitization and technology of different dimensions. And we know that in terms of the real issues around claim settlement, yes, a lot has been done in that area. And as a new administration at the National Insurance Commission, we've spoken to the issue of zero tolerance for delayed claims. And we've encouraged insurance operators, and they've bought into our vision to then have claims settled promptly and fairly, so that it becomes the selling point for people to tie into insurance. And that's why we have the Policyholders Protection Fund in place, as another game changer, to then be able to take care of companies that might fall into, distress, and then the policyholders won't be stranded. There will be a way of dealing with that.
Very
Those are the high
interesting.
points.
Yes, very interesting. Thank you so much, Deputy Commissioner. So, are you satisfied at Gam-Ikon with the process of the review of the law? What was eventually signed? It was signed about 3 days ago. What's the feedback so far from industry professionals, from the insurance companies? You're the regulator. So, what was the feedback so far from the industry and even from policyholders as to, look, what horizon does this set for the country, for this sector, for those who are putting from little third-party vehicle insurance to those who are the big corporate insurance and reinsurance business as well? What's the feedback so far?
So the feedback is that of enthusiasm and a lot of positive hope. Renewed hope, if I may, and that's because when we came in as a new administration, we started by setting the tone for what we intend to have, and that speaks to the issue of policyholders' protection, and regaining and trying to rebuild the trust of the public. Because we understood the challenges. We knew that there was so much problem around claims issues, and from generation to generation, the stories kept going. And if you had followed our progress, you would have known that we had to take over an insurance company that was not doing very well, and then policyholders had issues. And so we had set the tone that way. In going into the process of the legislation around the new act, the expectations were already high. That should this happen after almost 15 years of trying to get the amendment, then it will be something remarkable. And so indeed, the reactions that we've gotten has been that of celebration, I would say, amongst industry players. And like I mentioned earlier, in the process of doing this, we didn't work alone. We worked with the operators. We worked with the insurance companies. We worked with the reinsurance companies. We worked with the brokers. We worked with the loss adjusters. We worked with the agents. Everyone had an opportunity to contribute, to make contribution to this. So you have a document that has come out, signed by the president, thanks to him, that is very transformational. And the intention is for everyone to work together and really achieve that transformation that we see. Because, of course, like the industry probably has the highest potential for growth. And it has demonstrated that in the past few years, where the industry has been, ahead of other sectors in terms of growth in the economy, in spite of all that we have faced.
Okay, so I'm sure one aspect of the new act will be the recapitalization. Well, when is that going to happen? Your big brothers, the banking folks are getting done based on the timeline by the end of March. of 2026. How soon will the insurance sector recapitalization happen?
So the recapitalization will happen in such a way that I can tell you from even what we had in the bill, which has been assented to by the president. Within 12 months, we'll have the insurance companies that are ready to continue doing business in place. What do I mean? We did some appraisal in the course of this process and discovered that about 40% of the insurance companies would already have met the new capital requirements. And I need to say, sometimes when we discuss the recapitalization process for insurance, there's been this whole issue around capital base, which is what we are used to in the past. But the difference is that now we're speaking to the issue of minimum capital requirements, which is more of what's near to cash, to then be able to put the insurance companies in a financially sound position to do business. Because sometimes when you have claims to pay, you are unable to sell your buildings to then be able to achieve that. So those have been addressed, thanks to the new bill, which was also acknowledged the position of the minimum capital requirements in the Finance Act. So clearly we look forward to having, very sound companies within the next 12 months that will show. And of course, we'll be able to help that process of mergers and acquisitions and all of what needs to happen. Because indeed, like you said, we can't afford to have our brothers go too far from us in terms of what is happening in the financial sector. Because our contribution to the financial services sector is deep. And we always say that we are the backbone of every other person. And so if we don't have things in place, then it's not likely that we'll be able to connect and contribute effectively to the economic transformational plan of this administration.
Interesting. So let's begin to wind down this conversation. Thank you so much. In terms of, so we have a new Insurance Sector Reform Act on our hands, on NICOM's hands. What's next? In particular, in the areas of enforcement and ensuring that the system is cleaned up and that there is enough sanctions on the ground for those who misbehave within the industry. What should we look forward to see from NICOM in terms of that moving forward, now that you have a law that can not just bite, but also can bite?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. What it is that we are going to be able to, enforce better than we used to do before, because some of the things that you will find in the Act, speaks to the issue of penalties where we can really sanction people who are not doing insurance. We started that journey with the collaboration we had with the police and the Federal Road Safety in terms of the enforcement of the third-party motor insurance. And so with this law, we're going to move faster to be able to achieve that. We also have the public buildings and buildings under construction that we need to drive, and then of course, every employer of labor is meant to do a group life policy for its employees, and a number of other compulsory insurances that we already have been following. Health insurance is part of what is being enforced. And of course, we will be able to ensure that health professionals, as is required by law, have insurance. And what we basically do is do a lot more of awareness, do a lot more of education, sensitize people, let people become aware of the benefits of insurance, so that they begin to take advantage of these compulsory insurance policies. Because clearly, if you put your car on the road and I put my car on the road, we are both safe when they are insured. Yeah. But when one has insurance and the other doesn't have insurance, then it means that there's a problem somewhere. So that enforcement, we are now in a better position to do. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm going to tell everyone around here to go check their third-party or comprehensive insurance if it's up to date. There's a new law and a new sheriff in town. All right, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Thanks for speaking with us exclusively on this, on Arise News regarding the new insurance style by Mr. President. Wish you and everyone all the best at NICOM. Have a great evening.